Is the PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday, what we started with is the unit number 2, that is research design. Hmm? In that, we started discussing about what is a research design, the different definitions of research design, what research design will include, then various features of a good research design that we discussed, and how that research design can help a researcher, that we discussed. And we started with research approach. We learned that there are two research approaches. One is qualitative approach and another is quantitative approach. Qualitative, in short, it means related to the qualitative data, that is the data which is non-numerical, and quantitative, that means the data will be related to numbers. So numerical data will be involved in quantitative approach. We discussed the definition of qualitative research and quantitative research also. This qualitative research, we discussed that it is intended to deeply explore, understand, and interpret social phenomena within its natural setting. So the in the natural setting as it is, we observe, we understand, we interpret the different social phenomena to understand that particular event, phenomena, or concept, so as to get more information, more detailed information about that particular problem. Then the quantitative research, which we discussed, is an inquiry into a social problem to explain the phenomena by gathering numerical data. So here you will see that in quantitative data, the numerical data will be collected and analyzed using different statistical techniques. That much we discussed yesterday. Now going further, the qualitative approach, you will see that the qualitative approach focuses on describing a phenomenon in a deep comprehensive manner. Comprehensive means in detail or in depth manner. This is generally done in interviews, open ended questions, or focus groups. So this qualitative approach which we started discussing, this focuses on describing phenomena or event or any problem in a detailed way. In qualitative approach, what we do is we try to understand that problem in a more detailed way, comprehensive manner, that means in detail or in depth. And for doing that, we have different techniques like interview. We may conduct the interview of the people, those who are directly or indirectly associated with that particular problem or that particular event or phenomena. There may be open-ended questions. We may have open-ended questions. Open-ended question means there are no choice given. There may be two types of questions: open-ended questions, close-ended questions. Open-ended question means those questions wherein the respondent is free to answer anything which comes to his mind. So in his own way, he is able to give the answer or describe the phenomena. And there is another type of questions like close-ended, wherein we provide options. Maybe there are 3 options, 4 options, multiple choice. So we give option to the respondent and then ask respondent to choose any of the options. Yes, that type of close-ended questions may be used in quantitative approach. But here in qualitative approach, you can see that there is open-ended questions can be used for collecting the data, or there can be focus groups. Focus group means there may be a group of people, maybe 8 to 10 people, who are directly or indirectly associated with that particular problem, and then we have a group discussion, focused group discussion with this 8 to 10 people, and we try to understand the problem in various aspects, the different dimensions of that problem. That is called as a focus group type of interview, isn't it? So there may be interviews to get the information. There can be open-ended questions used for that purpose, or there can be focus groups. which can also be used for collecting the information in qualitative type of research. Are you getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Then in most cases you will see that a small number of participants participate in this type of research. In this type of qualitative research, in most of the cases, a small number of people will be involved as a respondents, because to carry out such research, to carry out such type of research endeavor requires many resources and much time. So this type of interviews or this type of collection of information from a small number of participants require much resources and time also. However, such research serves as a support for larger studies and deeper understanding that can inform theory, practice, and specific situations. So even if it is consuming most time resources, but such studies, qualitative studies, help us for more understanding about the problem. It can help us to carry on further study on that particular problem and getting a solution for that particular problem. Again, going ahead, we will take the example of qualitative research. A good example of qualitative research would be unstructured interviews. Structured interviews means there is no structure of interviews. There may be a personal interview or group interview, and there is no structure. No guideline is specific guideline, or no specific sequence of questions is given. The interviewer will ask the questions to the group of respondents or respondent in his own way, in the way which he feels appropriate for that particular situation, to get more details about that particular problem. So a good example of qualitative research method would be an unstructured interview which generate qualitative data through the use of open questions. So open-ended questions. So those questions wherein the respondent is made free or made open to answer whatever comes to his mind, or whatever way he wants to describe that particular problem or the reasons for that particular problem. So in this type of qualitative research, you will see that this allows respondents to talk in depth, choosing in their own words. So herein the respondent is given liberty to talk in his own words, in the details he wants to describe. In his own way, he can describe that particular problem, the different dimensions of the problem, the different reasons for that problem he can describe. This will help the researcher to develop a real sense of person's understanding of a situation. So this type of interview or survey, that can help researcher to understand that particular problem in a more better way. The particular problem or that particular situation can be better understood by this type of in-depth interview. So in this, the researcher is free to ask any questions in his own way, and in the sequence he feels appropriate for that particular situation, to get more details or in-depth information about that particular situation or that particular problem. So this is one example, good example of qualitative research. Understood? Samir, Shubham, are you all there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting what we are discussing?
Yes, sir.
If you have any problem, you tell me, we'll discuss it once again.
Sure, sir.
So shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll going ahead, what we are going to discuss is the different pros and cons of qualitative research. Pros means the different advantages of qualitative approach we have to understand. The first advantage of this qualitative approach is it allows identification of new and untouched problems. So in qualitative approach, as we have discussed, we try to explore that particular situation or problem which is new. So to get a better understanding of that particular situation or problem, this qualitative approach will always help you, always help the researcher. This qualitative approach can provide deeper understanding of research problem or area. So going into the depth of that particular problem, understanding the problem in a more better way, understanding the different dimensions of the problem, this type of qualitative research can help a researcher. This qualitative research gives one-on-one and subjective information. So one-to-one information from the respondents as well as subjective information means descriptive information, all the description of that particular situation, phenomena or that particular problem that you can get in very details through this type of qualitative approach. And this qualitative approach provides verbal information that may sometimes be converted into numerical form. So some verbal information or the information which you receive from respondent that can be converted sometimes if required for a particular reason into a numerical form which can be analyzed with different statistical techniques for other purposes. Then looking into the different cons or that is the disadvantages or limitations of qualitative approach. The first disadvantage or limitation is it cannot generalize to the general population. So we cannot generalize or we cannot apply that information to the entire population, or we cannot generalize that particular solution to the all the people or the entire population. So whatever information we get, it is specific or it pertains to that particular group only. It cannot be applied to the entire population. Second disadvantage or limitation is challenges in applying statistical methods. So in this type of qualitative data, as you know, we get the descriptive data, or we can call it as subjective data, which is in the form of pictures or the words, sentences. And this for this data, it is very difficult to apply any statistical method. So the analysis is a challenging part in qualitative approach. And third limitation is difficulty in assessing relations between characteristics. So understanding the different relationships between different variables or different characteristics, that becomes difficult in case of qualitative data. Have you understood the different pros and cons, that is advantages, disadvantages of qualitative approach? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we'll go to the another approach, that is quantitative approach. So this quantitative approach will focus on describing a phenomenon across a large number of participants. In case of qualitative approach, we have seen that the phenomenon relates to a small number of people, but herein you will see that quantitative approach can be applied to a large number of participants, thereby providing the possibility of summarizing characteristics across the groups and relationships. So here the advantage of quantitative approach is that we can study a large number of people, a large number of participants, and it can help us to summarize the different characteristics across the different groups, and as well as the relationships between all those characteristics can be established. Then second important point here is that this approach surveys large number of individuals as we discussed and applies statistical techniques. So here whatever data we are getting, it is in the form of numbers, and therefore we can apply different statistical tools available for analyzing that particular data to recognize overall patterns in the relationships of processes. Importantly, the use of surveys can be done across the groups. So herein you will see that we can take information, or we can collect information from large number of individuals. The data is in the form of numbers, numerical data we gather, and it is easy to apply the statistical techniques on that type of numerical data, and we can establish relationship between different characteristics or variables wherein we are studying that particular problem. One good example of quantitative approach that we can discuss here. The same survey can be used with a group of mentors that is receiving training and a group of mentors who do not receive such training, a control group. So herein we are taking one example of a training. A training is provided to a group of mentors. We want to see the effect of the training, and for that for understanding the effect of the training, what we are doing is we are forming two groups. One group is called as intervention group or experimental group, wherein the training is given, and there is another group of mentors who are not given any training. That type of group is called as control group. And then after having a survey of these people, of having which who are there in the two groups, one group is there for whom the training is given, another group is there where the training is not given. So we can make the difference. What is the effect of the training? Getting this example?
Yes, sir.
So herein I am repeating this example. Here in this study, the example which we have quoted here for this quantitative approach, in this example you will see that we want to study the effect of training to the mentors. We have formed two groups. One group of mentors wherein we have provided the training, and one group of mentors is there wherein we have not provided the training. So the group for whom we have provided the training is called as intervention group or experimental group, and another group wherein the mentors are not given any training is called as control group. So we'll see the effect of training by conducting a survey. We'll have a survey, we'll take the feedback from both these groups, and then we'll compare what is the effect of training. So that type of quantitative research can be conducted through this type of quantitative approach. Understood till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So going ahead, what we'll discuss is the different pros and cons, that is advantages and disadvantages of this quantitative approach. So this quantitative approach, you will see that the first advantage is that it enables gathering information from a relatively large number of participants. This is the main advantage, is that you can take the feedback or response from a large number of participants. It can be conducted in a number of groups, allowing the comparison. So if we are able to take the information or group of information from a group of people, it can allow us to compare the results or feedback in different groups, and it allows generalization to broad population. So this is a main advantage of quantitative approach compared to qualitative approach. Herein, in quantitative approach, those results which we get can be generalized, can be applied to a large population. Whatever results we get on a small population, that we can generalize. That means it can be applied to a large number of population. It provides numerical or rating information. So this type of quantitative data can provide you numerical information, or it may provide you rating information. You have to rate what is better, good, average. So you can give a rating. So it provides numerical as well as rating information or data. It lends to these statistical techniques that allow determining relationship between variables. It can help you to use different statistical techniques with which you can establish relationship between different variables or different characteristics. That is possible in terms of quantitative approach, which was not there in the case of qualitative approach. Herein we can establish relationship between different variables or different characteristics with the help of numerical data which is generated through quantitative approach. Are you getting this? Anything,
Yes.
anything if you have not understood, you can ask me before going ahead. You're getting? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the different cons or the disadvantages or limitations we can say for this quantitative approach is that difficulty in recognizing new and untouched phenomena. So this was the advantage of your qualitative approach. In qualitative approach, it is very it helps you to understand and get into the details, explore the new or untouched phenomena or problem. But here in quantitative approach, it is difficult. Here you have limited options, limited information on which we are taking feedback, and only you can establish relationship between different variables or characteristics based on the available data which you generate from the respondents, which is collected on the basis of different structured interviews or close-ended questions. Herein, caution in interpretation without a control group. Herein, while interpreting the results, you have to take caution if there is no control group for interpreting any result or to take out meaning of particular results which you get after doing some survey or some experiment. If you do not have any control group, you will have to take precaution in interpreting such type of results. So you have to have a control group so that you can compare your results with the control group so that better you can interpret the results. Then this type of quantitative approach, again the disadvantage is that it is expensive as well as time consuming experiments. So many times this type of quantitative approach require survey to be conducted or some experiments to be conducted, and those are expensive as well as they consume much of the time. These are the different disadvantages and advantages of qualitative as well as quantitative approach. Are you clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then going ahead, we'll just see the comparison. Here I have made one this comparison in the form of table. Is this table visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in this table, you can see on the left hand side it is qualitative method, and there is quantitative methods which we have compared. So the first point of difference in qualitative and quantitative methods is that in qualitative method, it is primarily inductive process used to formulate theory or hypothesis. Inductive process means we search for the information or going deeper into the theories to understand the particular theory in more better way. That is inductive approach. And here this quantitative method is deductive process. Deductive process means from a particular theory which is established, we are again reconfirming that particular theory, or we are coming to some certain conclusion. That is deductive process. So quantitative methods, they are primarily inductive processes to formulate theory or hypothesis, wherein we go deeper or go into the details of the particular concept or particular problem or particular situation, and then we try to formulate theory or hypothesis based on that, which is called as inductive process. And opposite to that, it is quantitative methods, wherein it is primarily deductive process, wherein what we do is we use that methods to test pre-specified concepts, constructs, and hypotheses that make up the theory. So in quantitative methods, what we do is we test that particular concept, theory, or different hypotheses which are being formulated on the basis of qualitative methods. So it is deductive. Qualitative methods are inductive, wherein we try to understand that particular problem in more details, and it is helpful to formulate particular theory. And in quantitative approach, you will see that it is deductive process, wherein we do not formulate any theory, but we test a particular theory which is being already established, or different concepts which are pre-specified or formulated already, different constructs or variables and hypotheses that make up that particular theory. Are you getting this first point, or there is confusion?
Yes, sir. No, sir, no.
I'm again explaining. This qualitative approach and quantitative approach, the points of difference we are trying to understand here. The first point, which says that the qualitative methods are inductive processes and quantitative methods are deductive, isn't it? So what is the meaning of inductive and deductive, that I am going to explain you once again. So this qualitative approach or qualitative methods are inductive in nature. Inductive means what? We on the basis of particular problem or particular situation, what we do is we try to go into the details. We explore that particular problem through different dimensions, through different angles. We study that particular problem, and we formulate certain theory or some assumptions or hypothesis on the basis of this exploration of particular problem. That is inductive method, which is there in qualitative methods. And on the other hand, there is quantitative method, which is called as deductive method. Deductive means what? We do not formulate any theory, or do not explore into the problem, or we do not formulate any hypothesis on the basis of this. But what we do in quantitative method is that we test the pre-established or pre-specified theory, concepts, construct, that is all the variables and hypotheses which are being formulated on the basis of the qualitative methods. Getting now?
Yes, sir.
So if you have understood, just let me check whether you have understood or not. Can anybody tell me what you have understood? Anybody take initiative? Anybody? Shubham, Vinod, Jayant, Pallavi, Simran, Rutuja, Komal. Are you there? Shubham?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you just explain in your own words, what did you understand by this inductive method or deductive method? The first point of difference which we have discussed. Anything, or if you have not understood, tell me to repeat it once again. We'll discuss it once again till you understand.
So once again.
Okay. So once again, I will repeat this point of difference number one, that is qualitative methods are inductive in nature and quantitative methods are deductive in nature. First of all, you understand the qualitative method, which we are calling as inductive process. Inductive process means what? In qualitative method, what we do is we try to explore a particular problem in detail. We try to get more and more information about that particular problem. We try to get all the details, different aspects related to that particular problem, so as to understand that particular problem or particular situation in a more better way, and to formulate a particular theory based on that, or to formulate certain hypotheses or assumptions based on that we can conduct further research. So this type of process we call it as a inductive process that comes in qualitative method. Have you got this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So in quantitative method, what we do is, in quantitative method, we test certain theory which is already established, certain constructs or variables, and different hypotheses which are already formulated. We test all that testing or that type of process we call it as a deductive process. So in quantitative method, what we do is primarily we test the already established hypothesis, theory, or different concepts, whether whatever concepts or theories those work actually as it is in practical or not, that we test. So that type of process is called as deductive process, which is there in quantitative method. Getting this point now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then going ahead, the next point in this is the quantitative methods. Qualitative methods are more subjective or more descriptive. It describes a problem or condition from the point of view of those experiencing it. So the sample of people, a sample of respondents which we are studying, those who are actually experiencing that particular problem or those who are actually into that particular situation, we are trying to get information from those people in qualitative method. And these methods are more of a subjective in nature. That means it gives a description of particular situation or a particular problem. So we call it as a subjective in nature. So this type of qualitative methods are more of a subjective in nature. So that means they describe the particular situation or condition or that particular problem from those who are actually experiencing that particular situation or problem. Moreover, this quantitative type of methods are more of objectives, more of objective in nature, that is specific to the point. Numerical data which we get that provides observed effects interpreted by researchers of a program on a particular problem or condition. So in quantitative methods, you will see that this the data or the information which we generate is more of a objective type. Objective means that is specific to the point. It provides the numbers or quantity based on the experiment we are doing for that particular problem or condition. In quantitative methods, whatever experiment we are doing or whatever survey or whatever research we are conducting, that generates more of a objective data. That means it provides you to the point numerical data which can provide you information about observed effect, which is the result of that particular research in the form of numerical data. Are you getting till this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another point of difference is in qualitative methods, it is text-based methods. It is text-based methods like words, sentences, pictures. So numbers are not involved in qualitative methods. And in quantitative methods, you will see that it is number-based methods. Numbers and involved. These are numeric type of data is generated through quantitative methods. One more point of difference in qualitative methods is that it is more in-depth information on a few cases. So in qualitative methods, what we do is we get more in-depth, more detailed information on few cases, few number of respondents, few number of people. We conduct this type of study and we get in detail type of information, in-depth information from few cases. Quantitative method is exactly opposite to that. Herein it is less in depth, but breadth is more. That means large number of people or large number of respondents we can survey. In qualitative method, less number of people but detailed information. Here in quantitative method, less in-depth information but large number of respondents we can cover. Are you getting till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I will
Yes, sir.
instead of okay, thank you. So instead of going ahead, what we'll do is I will just tell you what we discussed today in the today's session. So in today's session, what we discussed is the qualitative and quantitative approach, the various advantages and disadvantages of qualitative and quantitative approach that we discussed, and we discussed the difference in qualitative approach and quantitative approach. So this much we have discussed in today's session.